So this is problem 3 on worksheet 4 of unit 3. Here we're given some multi-view drawings that are incomplete. We have to complete the top view as well as the isometric view of this block. And so how we're going to start is we're going to look at this point, since it's already drawn for us, and that point is shown to us on both the partial front and partial side views here. So any measurements that we can make on these drawings based on this point, we can then transfer to the isometric. So the first measurement we'll see is the full width of the block, which is 13 units. We can go from this point and go along the width axis, 13 blocks, and draw that line here. And we're measuring those blocks with the side lengths of the triangles as we go. We can then look at the full depth of the shape by using the side view, which is 8, and sending a line that's 8 units long this way, because that is the dimension that shows depth. And then we can look at the full height of the object, which is 7, and go from this back point up 7, because height is shown vertically here. Then to draw this top line up here, really what we should do is kind of look at the top view. The top view is going to have the same width as the front view and the same depth as the side view. And then when we close in this rectangle, that will show us that we have a 13 unit long line here in the top back of the shape. So moving on from here, we're going to start at this corner and go up 3. So that's shown right there. And then we're going to go in from this top corner here, which is shown right there, 2 blocks above that home point we were using before. We're going to go in 6, and then from that same point, now it's here, going back towards the deeper into the shape. We're going to go 6 this way as well, before we then connect this 6, since this 6 is showing that front face, and then a back face that's aligned with that front face. So both of these are 6 long. Then what we can do is we can go from this back corner right here up 5, because that gets us to the full top of the shape. And then what we're going to have to do is we have to get from this shape, or from this view, and try to see where does this point fall on the top view. And to do that, what we'll do is we'll send up 2 lines from the front and the back of the shape, and then 2 lines from the front and the back of the shape, starting from the side view and then also starting from the top view. And once we have this square up here, we can connect them for a 45-degree angle, and this allows us to project any details from this view to that one or vice versa. And so we'll take this point that we want, we'll draw a line up into the projection line. When it intersects, we'll then draw it over to the left, and so we find out that that point is right here. And so we have this kind of ridge in the back that's 2 blocks from the back. And this line right here is the one that we've drawn in blue, 2 blocks in front of that back line. So, I didn't talk about these 3 lines. We've projected these 3 corners from the front view up to the top view, and we'll use those later. In this view, we're going to go from this point right here up 1, and then we can connect these 2 line segments here, the one at the top of the 1 unit line segment and the 3 unit line segment. That's got a length of 7, and it connects right along one of those axes. And then we'll see that from this line, which is in line with the side view here, this corner, it goes all the way up to that top ridge that we showed before. And so if we can find where that ridge starts by going vertically 5 from this corner, we can now connect this point to that point with that purple line, which goes from the top of our 1 unit line segment up to this top of this 5 unit line segment, excuse me. So that purple segment is shown here. We can also make another purple segment there, because when we're looking at the side view, that face it goes throughout the shape. And so we have these 2 purple lines are parallel, and they're both based on this side view. We can then draw this depth of 6 before we drew it on the edge of the shape. Now we'll draw it in the center of the shape. And then we can cut these corners off. And the way that we'll cut these corners off is going down 3 and over 3. from this outside corner. And so that's shown by going 3 in and 3 down and finding these 2 points and then connecting them with a line. The same is done with this back corner, and we'll see what that looks like on the next slide. So here we've got these 2 corners, and because they're corners, when we're looking from the top view, we'd be able to see them as distinct lines on the edge and in the middle on the top. And so we need to show those lines here and here on our isometric view at these 2 corners where they turn. We also need to start cutting out this notch. The notch is shown there, and we projected it up onto the top view, but there's no notch shown in our isometric yet. And so what we need to do is we have to see that the notch starts 2 from the left side, and then it's 3 wide. So here we've gone 2 blocks in on the top and drawn 1 line, and then another 3 blocks before our second line to show our second part of our notch. The notch is 2 units deep, and so then from these 2 back corners we'll go 2 units, deep. And then we see that from the back of the shape all the way to the front of the shape, that notch is cut out. And so if we count how many units that is, it's 5 units. And so from the bottom of this red line, we'll go 5 units towards the front of the shape, because that represents this cutout right here. Now to clean this up a little bit, the front we'll have to connect where our orange lines and our purple lines, where they had left off. And then we can actually draw the 5 unit long bottoms of this this notch. You can't see this one because it's hidden behind the shape, but this one is visible. And then the 3 units wide that it is, we can draw that in the front and in the back until it's not visible anymore. Then the last part of this drawing is to look at the circle, which is a diameter of 2. 2 triangles go across the center of it, and it's centered in the square. So then we can place a 2 unit circle here, make sure that it's centered in the middle of the square. And because it is a circle, we have to make sure that these hidden lines here and here tell a different story than this hidden line up here. This hidden line is telling us about this very sharp corner, but these hidden lines and these hidden lines are due to a circle, and so both of them need to have center lines, which are dotted and dashed right through the center of them, so we know that this is a circle, not a square.